In this video, I'll show you how to install an Kenwood eXcelon DNN992 navigation system. Here it is, with all its accessories. And I'll be installing that into a Suzuki XL7 2008. Let's go through the parts very quickly. You'll have the navigation system, of course. You'll have some connectors and cables. This connects to give you audio video input and output, and connects to the camera as well. You can see here rear view camera. This adapts into your existing cables into in the car. There's the car will take these cables. That's expecting a system with this kind of hookup, so it adapts from the existing Suzuki wiring into this module that allows you to hook up this cabling that goes into your navigation system. I'll show you that. Of course, I'm gonna be connecting an HDMI cable so that I can stream out from it. I'm connecting all the bells and whistles. There's going to be the antenna for radio. There's also going to be the GPS. I'll just stick it over here and connect it at the back. And there's supports that will be connected to the side here. And finally, you have the faceplate. And I'll show you how it all connects into the car. So let's see what's at the back here. You can see here there's some cables because I'm going to have some USB extension connections. So these will come out from the glove box. They're just USB extensions, so I can plug in a USB and play some audio files. There's also this thing here with a Wi-Fi adapter. This is so that you can have Wi-Fi connectivity. So you can hotspot your phone, for example, and then the navigation system can pick up Wi-Fi from it. Let's see what connections I have in here. Of course, the radio antenna, which I'll hook up. There's AV in and out. This is where I'm going to hook this cable. Here we go. Now I'm going to have AV out and in, and also the which includes the rear view camera. I'm not going to install anything in here. This is usually used for your satellite radio, Sirius XM. This port here is for GPS. Here's a GPS connector. And now this is now dangling. I'll have to stick it on top. And this will go into the Suzuki's connections. So at the other end here, I'm going to plug this in like so. And notice that you have this module here. This does the clicking sound when you do the turn signals. So now that I hooked this up, I have this here. I'll connect it into here. It's hard to do this with one hand. Okay, so now this is how it gets power. And now I'll hook up the HDMI. To do that, you unhook this screw here, and then you remove this piece, and you have an HDMI connection in there. I'm going to plug it in. And now I'm going to cover it up with the metal piece here and screw it back in so that it holds the HDMI connection in place. Like this. And now I'm going to attach the side supports. And now this is how it looks like. And now I'll attach the GPS up here. I'm using 3M double-sided tape like this. That's good enough. I now have space inside the vehicle for that. And now I'm all set to move into the vehicle. Here's my Suzuki. They don't make them anymore, so this is a rare kind. And here's a look inside. You can see the factory original system. I also have a backup camera connected, so this is the backup screen, which is connected to my rear brake lights. Now let's take this apart. The first thing you need to do is remove this component here. Pull it out. Just put anything plastic in here, make some space, and then start pulling out like this. Now you'll notice that this part is latching on top of this part, so you'll need to create some space in here, pull this out like that, and take this piece up, away like this. Now it's out from underneath it. The only thing holding this now is the emergency signal connection over here, so remove that gently. You'll notice a flap on the side, so press on that and then it will come out and release. And there you have it. This piece is away, and you can tuck this away for a moment. And now you have access to your factory system. You have to remove these 4 bolts. Here are the 4 bolts. As you can see, 2 long ones and 2 short ones. The long ones were down here and the short ones were up here. Now that you've removed this bolts, you can gently pull this out and give it a little bit of a wiggle. Be careful, you have some wiring harnesses in the back here. I'm gonna be removing the cables here for the screen that I had connected to my backup camera. You see here the cabling for that screen. It has ground and reverse power. The reverse signal comes from the reverse light. These 2 cables here come with the car. One is the parking brake and one is the reverse. So I'm gonna disconnect that now. Okay, here's the cabling of my backup screen. You can see here that it gets video input from the backup camera. I'm gonna disconnect that now, and it gets power over here and ground. And it's capable of getting 2 camera sources, so that's why I have a 3rd one here. I'm not third connection, composite connection. I'm not using that, so I'm gonna disconnect the electrical tape from here because I need to use this cable here that's coming from the backup camera. And now I disconnected my backup screen, so everything is, I can move it away there, move the wires away. This is my backup camera source that I'll be using to connect to the new navigation system. So I'll put it on the side here for now, temporarily. And this is my parking brake and reverse light signal. I'm going to be also connecting this to the new navigation system. And here's the old factory system that I will disconnect. You can see in back here, I'm going to be disconnecting the antenna as well as the power harness. These connections right over here. And now the system is completely out. Now, one thing I didn't tell you guys at the beginning of the video is that I have DVD system here in the back, in the headrests, and that's why I also have cables running into here that I'll be using composite cables so that I can play DVDs from my new navigation system and display them at the backup headrest. Even though the backup headrests have their own controls and you can watch them, but sometimes I want to take control over what's being displayed so we can all watch the same thing, and then I can plug in the DVD here and have it displayed on the right and left headrests. So here's a new system. You can see there's a lot of wiring that needs to get housed in here. Now, one of the important things is that I have some cables, like I said, USB extension cables, HDMI cable, even AV in cables. I'm gonna be running those through here and out into the glove compartment. You can see here in the glove compartment, if you open it up, there's a hole in here. This is where I'm gonna be running the cables from the navigation system so that they can be dangling here, and then I have access to them as extension cables. Now I got the 4 cables through the hole here. I have the HDMI cable, HDMI out, 2 USB ports, and the stereo cable out. Connection actually in, because I can connect it to an iPod or my phone without Bluetooth. If I have something without Bluetooth, for example, and just hook it up as input to the navigation system. And now by the way, the third USB cable coming out here, which has the Wi-Fi adapter, that's okay. You can keep it just on top here. I taped it, so there's lots of room on top of the system. I need a lot of room at the bottom here for all the harnesses and all the other connections. So now that the 4 cables are through, I will start assembling this into the other cabling that I have here, including the audio video cables, the reverse and park cable, the camera input, and the factory power harness. Okay, now that all the wiring is complete, let me show you what cables are connected where. So first we have the GPS system module here with the cable going in. We also have the Wi-Fi module over here. We have 2 USB extensions. We have the reverse light and parking brake. We have the microphone cable. This is a microphone so that when you're connected via Bluetooth, you can speak through the mic. You have the audio video harness, and you have the power harness that goes to the box that translates into your factory connectors down here. That's all the wiring there is. Now let's close this up and put everything back into its place. After connecting all the cables, I started pushing the unit in. I'll make some more space in a bit. I also stuck this module to the back here using double-sided tape. So this will do the clicking noise from your signals, turn signals. When I turn the signals, you can hear it come out from here. And then turn the other way. Okay, the moment of truth. Yep, power's up. One thing to note, I did not yet connect the antenna cable. But there we go, it's up and running. And then I'll just log in as guest for now. There we go. And like I said, I don't have HD radio just yet because I didn't connect the antenna. I'll connect it in a bit. Let's see if the backup camera works. Okay, there's a easy way to see the camera while you're in the car. So just click on navigation, click agree, click view map, and then you can split the screen, and I have rear camera. Okay, excellent. Show you the hookup from the nav system here. audio video output to the headrest. Now if I pop in a CD or a DVD, and then go over here, this headrest here has some cabling. It basically gets input from the navigation system, or it can play directly from here, and it also has output from here into the other headrest. You can see it playing there. I can power on the headrest, and then I'm choosing AV in, and I'm playing whatever is on the nav system. So now you can have control of what the kids are watching. And the other headrest, I'm gonna power that on. You can see now all three playing the same video file. And the controls are in the front. But of course, the screen over there is showing the DVD because my handbrake is up. If I put the handbrake down, because of safety features, of course, you don't want to be watching while driving. So I'm going to put this down. And once I do, this takes it and says parking is off, and it doesn't show you the display, but it still continues the video, and the kids in the back continue watching. I'm going to pull up the handbrake again and watch DuckTales. I love it. Before you screw on the side bolts, you really need to put the faceplate on first. So that was a mistake. So I unscrewed, very easy. You just remove the bolts, and I put the faceplate on first, and then the bolts were screwed on later, and then time to put on the vents. And it just clips in place. You need to push on the sides first, and then you need to be careful here. You need to put these lips in the proper spot, and you get a good finish like this. Everything's working, and it's all closed and flush from here and clicked into place. And this is the finished product.